Welcome back. You might have seen the profit volume chart in the intro. So if you had noticed, the profit line had a bend. This is known as a kinked profit line. So in today's session, we will learn how to draw a kinked profit line. So let's start straight away. So this is the very same question that we attempted in the previous class, where we had found out the break-even point in dollar as $98,000 and the weighted average C/bias ratio as 0.42857. Now, with the very same question, we will draw a profit volume chart. Now, for the profit volume chart, what are the two things that we are going to plot? One is the profit on the y-axis and the volume or the sales on the x-axis. So we will draw a table. So this is the table. We have the units in the first column, the sales in dollar in the second column, the contribution in the third column, and we already know that the weighted average C/bias ratio is 0.42857. This is something that we've already found out in the previous class. Next column is the fixed cost, and finally, you will be arriving at the profits. So in order to draw a profit line in the profit volume chart, we need 2 points. So we are trying to find out those 2 points. So when the units is 0, what is the sales value? Sales value is also 0. Now, and what is the contribution? Contribution will also be 0. And now coming to the fixed cost. Fixed cost is $42,000. So I will be writing that $42,000 under the fixed cost column. So what is the profit? Profit is always contribution minus fixed cost. So what is the profit? It is 0 minus 42,000 or negative 42,000. It is a loss when we are not selling any units. Now coming to the budgeted sales. What is a budgeted sales? The budgeted sales is 4,000 units of football and 2,000 units of basketball. Let's see the profit that we get in that situation. So what is the sales value? 1 unit of football sells for $20 and 1 unit of basketball sells for $30. So what is the sales? Sales is 4,000 units of football multiplied by the selling price of 20 plus 2,000 units of basketball multiplied by the selling price of 30. So we get the sales value as $140,000. And what is the contribution? Contribution is always 0.42857 of the sales value because the C/bias ratio is 0.42857. So we calculate the contribution as 140,000 into 0.42857. We get the contribution as $60,000. And fixed cost, as we know, it's always constant, whether we are selling 0 units or whether we are selling 6,000 units. So the fixed cost is 42,000. And what is the profit? Profit is contribution minus fixed cost. So we get the profit as $18,000. So we have got the 2 points wherein we can draw the profit line. So the 2 columns that we need is, one is the volume, that is the sales column, and the second one is the profit column. So I'm copying those figures to the next slide. So we have the sales column and the profit column copied from the previous slide. And we've already calculated the break-even point at $98,000 in the previous class. Now we will draw the profit volume chart. So we have the profit volume chart. We have the x-axis and the y-axis. The sales in thousands of dollars is depicted on the x-axis and the losses or profits on the y-axis. So what is the first point of plot? When the sales is 0, the profit is negative 42,000. So we have negative 42,000 here. So the first plot is here indicated by the red cross. And the next plot is when the sales is $140,000, the profit is 18,000. So $140,000 is here and 18,000 is somewhere here. So I'm marking the point 18,000. So the plot comes here. So I will be joining those 2 points to get the profit line. Now we've already calculated the break-even point in dollar as 98,000 in the previous class. So if you see here, the profit line cuts the x-axis at exactly $98,000. So we mark that point to, this is the break-even point in dollar at $98,000. So we've completed the profit volume chart when the goods are sold in the standard sales ratio. In the previous question, our standard sales ratio was 2:1. That is, for every 2 footballs, we will be selling 1 basketball. But is that a wise decision to sell it always in the 2:1 ratio? We could always sell the most profitable product first. So this is what we are going to see next when the goods are sold in the order of profitability. In the order of profitability means in the order of their C/S ratio. Multi-product break-even analysis when goods are sold in the order of profitability or the C/S ratio. So we have got the very same question. Okay. Now, first we have to calculate the C/S ratio for both the products and see which is the better product. So we have the football and the basketball, the C/S ratio. What is the formula for C/S ratio? It is contribution divided by sales. So for football, it is 9 divided by 20, giving a C/S ratio of 45% or 0.45. Now coming to basketball, it is 12 divided by 30, giving a C/S ratio of 40% or 0.4. So which is a more profitable product? Definitely football. So it is better to sell football first because football has got a higher profitability. So we will rank the products. For football, it's rank 1, and for basketball, it's rank 2. Now we will calculate the break-even point. This is slightly tricky, so listen very carefully. Now we have totally 6 columns in our table. The first column is the particulars, second column sales, third column is the cumulative sales, fourth column is the contribution, fifth column is the cumulative contribution, and the last column is the profit. Profit is nothing but cumulative contribution minus fixed cost. What do you mean by cumulative contribution? The total contribution. Total contribution minus the fixed cost is the profit figure. So first we will take the situation where we are not selling anything. Okay. So no products are sold or none sold. So what is the sales? Sales is 0. So the cumulative sales, it's the total sales, that's also 0. And what is the contribution? If sales is 0, contribution is also 0. And what is the cumulative contribution? Cumulative contribution is also 0. But what is the profit? Profit is cumulative contribution minus fixed cost of $42,000. We have a fixed cost of $42,000, which means that if we are not selling anything, we end up with a loss of 42,000, or the profit is negative 42,000. Now what is our plan? Next, we are going to sell footballs because it has got rank 1. So we are going to sell footballs. And what is the budgeted sales for football? It is 4,000 units. And what is the selling price of football? It is $20 per unit. So the sales value is 4,000. That is the number of units. That's the budgeted sales. Multiplied by the selling price of 20, we get a sales of $80,000. Please note that sales is in dollar. Okay. Now, what is the cumulative sales or the total sales? The only thing that we have sold is football. So the cumulative sales is also $80,000. And what is the contribution? Contribution of football is, if you see here, the C/S ratio of football is 0.45. So what is the contribution? It is 80,000 into 0.45 or $36,000 for football. Now, what is the cumulative contribution? Cumulative contribution is also 36,000. Cumulative contribution is nothing but the total contribution. And what is the profit? Profit is always cumulative contribution minus the fixed cost of 42,000. Here, we have a cumulative contribution of 36,000 and the fixed cost is 42,000. So the profit is 36,000 minus 42,000 or negative 6,000. So we are still having a loss, which means that even now we have not reached the break-even point. Now coming to the next product. Now we are going to sell basketballs. So now we are selling basketballs. So what is the sales value of basketball? The total budgeted sales of basketball is 2,000 units and per unit it is $30. So the sales becomes 2,000 into 30 or $60,000. And what is the cumulative sales? Cumulative sales is the total sales. So we've already sold the football for $80,000 and now we are selling basketball for $60,000. So what is the total sales? It is 80,000 plus 60,000 or the cumulative sales is $140,000. Now what is the contribution for basketball? Basketball sales is $60,000. And what is the C/S ratio of basketball? It is 0.40. So what is the contribution that we receive from the basketball sales? It is 60,000 into 40%, or we get a contribution of 24,000 from the basketball sales. Now coming to the cumulative contribution. Cumulative contribution is the total contribution. So we already have a contribution of 36,000 from the football sales. And now we have a contribution of 24,000 from the basketball sales. So what is the total contribution or the cumulative contribution? It is 36,000 plus 24,000, giving a figure of $60,000. Now coming to the profit. Profit is always cumulative contribution minus fixed cost of 42,000. So we have a cumulative contribution of 60,000. And what is the fixed cost? It's 42,000. So profit is 60,000 minus 42,000, giving a profit of $18,000. So what did we understand? When we sold basketball, we have crossed the break-even point because now it is showing a profit of 18,000. So in order to calculate the break-even point, we know that we have already sold football and we have sold some basketballs. Then we reach the break-even point. So we will see the exact amount of break-even point. Break-even point in dollar. Now, if you see here, after we sold the entire quantity of football, we are still at a loss of $6,000, which means that after the football sales, we have not reached the break-even point. But after we started selling the basketball, we have reached the break-even point because the loss got converted to profit. Okay, so this is the point that we have to pick. Which is the point where the loss got converted to profit, which means that the break-even point has been arrived when we sold some basketballs, not the entire quantity of basketballs, but when we sold some basketballs, we have reached the break-even point. That is, we have sold the entire quantity of football plus some quantity of basketball. Now to find out that some quantity of basketball is our next challenge. So break-even point in dollar is given by, we have already sold football, that is $80,000. So we will take $80,000 plus some portion of basketball, that is basketball sales required to achieve break-even. What is that some quantity of basketball that we have sold to achieve break-even? Now listen carefully. What is this loss of $6,000? Loss of $6,000 is nothing but contribution of 36,000 minus the fixed cost of 42,000. So I'm writing here 42K. So that is a loss of $6,000, right? So what does that mean? It simply means that the contribution was not sufficient to cover the fixed cost of $42,000. I will say that again. The contribution of $36,000 was not sufficient to cover the fixed cost of $42,000. That is the reason why we get a loss of $6,000. Okay, so what is that $6,000? $6,000 is nothing but the unabsorbed fixed cost, which means that just before we sold basketballs, we had an unabsorbed fixed cost of $6,000. And what is the formula for break-even point? Break-even point is nothing but fixed cost divided by C/S ratio. So just before the sale of basketball, what is the fixed cost which is unabsorbed? $6,000. So in order to find out the break-even point, all that we have to do is we have to substitute in our formula of break-even point. So I will just write that formula. It is fixed cost divided by C/S ratio of basketball. Here we are going to add the terms fixed cost unabsorbed because just before the sale of basketball, what is the fixed cost that we have unabsorbed? So that is the formula that we are going to use here. So the basketball sales required to achieve the break-even is given by the formula fixed cost unabsorbed divided by C by S ratio of basketball. So that's the only modification that we need to use, because already some portion of fixed cost was absorbed by the football sales. Now, what is left or what is unabsorbed? That is nothing but $6,000. So we will substitute in the formula. We get the answer as 6,000 divided by 0.4, because 0.4 is the C by S ratio of basketball, which means that if we make an additional sale of $15,000 of basketball, we reach the break-even point. Okay, so now we have already sold football, so that is $80,000, that is from here, and basketball sales required to achieve break-even, we have just found out that it is $15,000. So what is the final answer? It is 80,000 plus $15,000 or $95,000, which means that if we make a total sales of $95,000 comprising of $80,000 for football and $15,000 for basketball, we reach the break-even point when goods are sold in the order of profitability. Now, if you've got 3 products, how will you deal with that situation? Always look at the point where the loss is getting converted to profit, and then apply this formula for the upcoming product. That is, what is the fixed cost unabsorbed? Here it was $6,000. So just see what is the amount of fixed cost unabsorbed, and then take the C by S ratio of the product that we are going to sell, or the product which has resulted in the loss getting converted to profit, and we add the sales together to get the break-even point in dollar. Now, in a 3-product scenario, if it is the 3rd product that has made the profit, we will get 3 additions. So now we will plot this in the graph. We need 2 columns. One is the sales column, and please note it is a cumulative sales that we are recording, and we need the profit column also. So I'll be copying that to the next slide. So we have the cumulative sales and the profit column, and we've already calculated the break-even point at $95,000. Let's see whether the break-even chart also gives the very same result. So we have the X and the Y-axis. The sales in thousands of dollars is represented on the X-axis, and the losses or profits on the Y-axis. So what is the first point of plot? When the sales is $0, our profit is negative 42,000. So that is here indicated by the red cross. Now the next point of plot is when we are selling footballs, we have a sales of $80,000 and a profit of negative 6,000. So $80,000 is somewhere here and negative 6,000 is somewhere here. So the point of plot is here. So I will be joining those 2 points to get a portion of the profit line. Now we will come to the 3rd point. That is when we are selling basketballs, the sales is 140,000 and the profit is 80,000. So the point of plot is here. That is 140,000 is the sale and the profit is 18,000. So we join the line. So if you see here, there is a bend in the profit line. This is what I said. It is a kinked profit line in the introduction. So the break-even point, if you see here, the profit line is cutting the X-axis at exactly $95,000. So we've got the very same answer that we calculated with the formula. Now observe carefully. If you see here, this is the profit line which is caused by the sale of footballs. Okay? And this is the profit line that is caused by the sale of basketball. The slant of the football profit line is steep, and the slant of the basketball profit line is gentle. Why is that? It is simply because the C by S ratio of football is 45% and C by S ratio of basketball is only 40%. Because the C by S ratio is higher, the slant is steep because we are achieving profit at a higher rate. But as for basketball, we are not achieving profit at that pace. So that is why there is a gentle slant for the basketball profit line. Now, in the question paper, what they will show is, they will give you the profit volume chart by showing both these profit lines. What are both these profit lines? when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio and when goods are sold in the order of profitability. So we will just take a look at how the profit volume chart will appear when both these profit lines are depicted in the same chart. So let's take a look. So profit volume chart, we are actually making a comparison when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio and in the order of profitability. That is two profit lines depicted in the very same graph. So it appears like this. If you see here, the red line and the yellow line and the break-even point of $95,000 is what we just did. That is when goods are sold in the order of profitability. And the blue line where the break-even point is $98,000 that we did initially when goods were sold in the standard sales ratio. Now, if you see here the blue line, that is when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio is a straight line because we are getting the very same C bias ratio. Because if you recollect, the standard sales ratio was 2:1. So for every 2 footballs, we are selling 1 basketball. And that is continuing throughout the time period. That is why there is no bend for the profit line. But in the next scenario, we are first selling footballs where we are getting a C bias ratio of 45%. And next we are selling basketballs where we are getting a C bias ratio of 40%. So there is a change in C bias ratio. That is why we have a bend in the profit line when we are selling goods in the order of profitability. But if we are selling goods in the standard sales ratio, the C bias ratio is getting maintained at 0.42857. There is no change in the C bias ratio. That is why we do not have a bend or it is a straight line. Now, if you notice here, when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio, the break-even point is $98,000. And when goods are sold in the order of profitability, break-even point is $95,000. That is, we achieved the break-even point much earlier. Why is that? It is simply because we have sold the better product first. Football is a better product. But here, we are not selling the better product first. We are selling it in the same standard ratio, that is 2:1. That is why we achieved the break-even point much later. Now we will do a question from the exam kit. Now, what is this graph? When the units sold are represented on the x-axis, that is the sales, and the profits and losses on the y-axis, immediately understand that this is the profit volume chart. And what are these two lines? One is a straight line and the other one is a kinked line. Okay. So the straight line is nothing but the profit line when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio. And the kinked line is the profit line when goods are sold in the order of profitability or in the order of the C bias ratio. So if you see here, product 1 gives the maximum C bias ratio. And second comes product 2 and third comes product 3. And since product 1 has got the highest C bias ratio, it is very steep. Okay. And the second product 2, it has got the second C bias ratio. So it is more gentle. And product 3 is a disaster. If you see here, the profit line is bending down, which means that product 3 has got a negative contribution. Only if you have a negative contribution will the profit line bend down, or it will always go up. It's just that when the C bias ratio starts reducing, the slant will become more gentle. That is all. Okay. But if it drops down, it immediately means that there is a negative contribution. Now, point A is the break-even point when goods are sold in the order of profitability. And point B is the break-even point when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio. So these are the things that you have to understand from the graph. Now we will go to the question. Which two statements are correct? Statement 1, B is the break-even point if goods are sold in the budgeted mix. Budgeted mix means it's a standard sales ratio. So B is the break-even point when goods are sold in the standard sales ratio. That is correct. So statement 1 is right. Now coming to statement 2. A is the break-even point if goods are sold in the order of the C bias ratio. A is the point when goods are sold in the order of the C by S ratio. That is also correct. So the second statement is also right. Now we have got the two statements which are correct, but anyway, we will go to the third and the fourth statement. Okay. So the third statement, changing the product mix in favor of product 3 will improve the total C by S ratio. Absolutely false, because product 3, we know that it is a disaster. It has got a negative contribution. So what is said is changing the product mix in favor of product 3. That is, if you increase the sales of product 3, your C by S ratio will improve, it seems. No, it will not improve, because already product 3 has got a negative contribution. So the statement 3 is false. Now statement 4, if all products are produced, the company can expect a sales of $350,000. $350,000 is here. So which means that they are telling you this point is the total sales. Do you think that that point is a total sales? No, it is the profit which is depicted on the y-axis, not the sales. So the statement should have been, if all products are produced, the company can expect a profit of $350,000. But since they have said sales, statement 4 is also wrong. So the two statements which are right are statements 1 and 2. With this, we come to an end of today's session. So I hope the multi-product profit volume chart is clear for you. If you have any doubts, do post in the comment box below. And if you've understood the concepts well, do hit the like and the subscribe button if you've not subscribed earlier. So thank you for watching and have a great day.